Welcome to ECED 422-522. This is an introduction to the Blackboard site. We'll be meeting in person once a week. However, I do put a lot of information on Blackboard to support what we're doing in the classroom. So I just want to do a quick walkthrough of Blackboard so you know where everything is. We'll talk about it in class the first night, but this will give you a reference to go back to if you forget or you're looking for something in particular. So this is what our Blackboard will look like. This is the instructor view, so yours might be a little bit different, but for the most part it will look the same. There is just some general information over here. It's a little bit about me. Your syllabus will be uploaded. You can always get a copy of your syllabus. There will be one for undergraduates taking 422 and one for graduate students taking 522. So make sure that you are looking at the correct syllabus because some of the assignment requirements and the readings can be different between undergraduates and graduates. So make sure you're looking at the correct syllabus. The weekly modules, this is where you'll find supplemental information as we move through the semester. I don't have all the information loaded now. It will come as we go, and it will open either right before or during the day of our Monday class. So you can look for that information. There might be a week or two ahead. Right now there's only weeks 1 and 2 that are open, but you'll be able to see all of the information and you'll be able to go back to it as we move on in the semester. I don't close the weeks as we finish those weeks. So again, this is supplemental information for you. There's a lot of very good resources here that are by topic area that we're studying. Discussion board, if we have discussions, then we will, I will put some prompts on the discussion board, and the assignments you'll submit here, additional resources for you. There is no key assessment in this course, and so I have this link hidden. You will not be able to see it. We don't need it for this course. So let's just start walking through. I'm going to go ahead and start with the weekly modules. This is what this section looks like. You can see that on the front of each week, the folder for each week, I have the topics that we're studying, the objectives or learning outcomes from the syllabus that we'll be covering that week, and any readings that are due, and they're due before you get to class. The assumption is that you've completed these readings before you get to class, because we will be working with the content. It's hard on a Monday class, but just plan for that. Also on the front, you will see if there is something due, it will be written in red or it will be highlighted in red. So the front cover is kind of your weekly checklist for what is due, what we're talking about, what your readings are. If there's anything due, it will be on this front folder for the week. Once you click in the week, you will go through and you will see learning modules. So for each of these modules, there'll be additional content, module pages. They're like little notebooks. So an overview of the syllabus and an overview of Blackboard will be contained in this learning module. Then we have content modules. So if you click on the content module, then you'll see that there's information. You don't click on the page because then it takes you to nothing. This is just a quirk with Blackboard. So unfortunately, we have to kind of work with some of these quirks. And I've got to move this so that we can get back to the page. But you just can read. They will be open and you can just scroll through and read right from this page. If there's a lot of information and you see something that looks like this where it's just a title, it's not blank. There's a little arrow over here on the right and you just click it and it will open the content. So rather than clicking into the content, you use the arrow to drop down the page. For some of the weeks, if there's a lot of graphics or if there's a lot of information on a module page, I'll close the module page up here just to save space when you're scrolling. But again, if you see something that looks like this with just a title, go over to the right-hand side and click the arrow down so that you can reveal the content. So this is what our modules will look like as we move through the semester. And for each week, you'll see them grow in different content areas that we're studying each week. And again, you can get that information from the syllabus. So week 2, we're talking about development. So there's just one module and then there's 2 module pages. we'll be covering it in class, but here's again some supplemental resources for you. There will be some information that's hidden. Sometimes it will be open after, sometimes it won't. So when I open Blackboard, this PowerPoint will be closed. You won't be able to see it. This is the PowerPoint that I'll use in class, and then I will open it after. So you will have access to it, but you might not have access to everything before class. I might open some items that we're using in class either as we go through class or at the end of class. So again, that's what your weekly modules look like. The covers for every week throughout the semester are completed. You can see those, but only the first 2 weeks have content. So when you click in, there's nothing there. When I'm working on the weekly module, I will take that weekly module down and make it unavailable so that you don't get notifications every time I add something. If you have the Blackboard app, or if you have your computer open, Blackboard will notify you every time something has been uploaded to your course. And to kind of prevent that, when I'm loading module page after module page and a couple of learning modules and PowerPoints and some other documents, I don't want you to be bombarded with those notifications. So what I do is I just make that folder unavailable. I load everything up and then I make it available again. So you'll get the one notification. So that's how the weekly modules will work. The discussion board, again, I don't have any questions right here yet. You will be asked to do an introduction so that your classmates can get to know you. We'll meet everybody in class, but we also want to have a written record. So maybe somebody is sitting in class and go, oh, I remember somebody works at such and such a school, or oh, I remember somebody in the class had experience doing something I'm interested in, but you forget who it is. You can look it up. It's also a good resource for me, because I have students who come back to me and ask me for references, and I need to put that reference in context. So this is also a good reminder for me in the future, should you come back to me and ask for a reference or for some additional information. So I ask everybody to do the introduction the first week of class. If you have general questions about the course that you think somebody else might have, you can put it in general questions. First, make sure you read the syllabus. Make sure you go through the video. Most of the information, most of your questions can be answered by working through the content and all of the resources on Blackboard. But if you have a question that you feel cannot be answered by looking in the syllabus or looking around Blackboard, and you think other students might have the same question, post it here. If it's something that is individual to you, send me an email. So don't put your personal questions up on Blackboard. You can send me an email. If you have a question about an assignment that is not on Blackboard or in the syllabus, and you think other people have that same question, you can post it here and I'll respond. So that's a little bit about the discussion board. The assignments you will submit here, and for each category or each assignment, there's a different folder. So you'll click in the folder and there may be supporting materials, or there might just be the submit button for that. So for the presentations, you're just going to submit your pamphlet here, and then it opens up a spot for me to grade for you. The literature talk, you're going to submit the resource list, you're going to submit it here. And then for your language project, there are the four different sections or parts of that assignment, and you'll submit them here. So that's where you will submit everything. And then there's just a resource section that has some general resources for you. Purdue OWL, curriculum standards and organizations, I put in all of my courses, and so that you have the links there and how to search in our database. And then there are some specific language development resources that you can look for additional information. So that is a very quick overview of Blackboard. I hope this was helpful. Please make sure that you go back and refer to this if you have any questions, or let me know if I missed something, and I would be happy to give you some additional information. Look forward to meeting everybody on Monday.